Fictional cultures are one of the most powerful elements in storytelling. When done right, they make entire worlds come to life, complete with their own traditions, languages, and values. These cultures feel so real that they become as important as the characters and plot. Here are the top 10 fictional cultures that feel real. 1. The Klingons from Star Trek. The Klingon culture in Star Trek is one of the most fully realized in science fiction. With its strict codes of honor, warrior ethos, and deep-rooted traditions, the Klingon people feel like a real civilization, with an intricate language and a rich history that spans centuries. 2. The Dothraki from Game of Thrones. The Dothraki, as depicted in Game of Thrones, have a nomadic warrior culture focused on horsemanship and survival. Their values, especially the emphasis on strength and honor in battle, are represented in their customs, rituals, and even their language, making them a fascinating, believable culture. 3. The Na'vi from Avatar. James Cameron's Avatar introduced the Na'vi, a spiritually connected indigenous species living on the moon Pandora. The Na'vi's reverence for nature, the planet's ecosystem, and their bond with the animals they ride reflects an authentic, ecological worldview that feels rooted in reality, even in a fictional setting. 4. The Elves from The Lord of the Rings. J.R.R. Tolkien's elves are perhaps the most iconic fictional culture. Their ancient history, deep wisdom, and reverence for nature form a coherent, multi-dimensional culture that is full of complexity. From their language to their customs, the elves are an unforgettable part of Middle-earth. 5. The Freemen from Dune. The Freemen in Dune have developed a deeply spiritual and resilient culture forged by the harsh desert environment of Arrakis. With their rituals, values, and survivalist mindset, the Freemen embody a culture shaped by necessity and a connection to both their environment and the mystical forces of their universe. 6. The Shirefic from The Lord of the Rings. In contrast to the grandeur of elves and dwarves, the Shirefic from The Lord of the Rings represent a humble, agrarian society that values peace, hospitality, and community. Their culture of simple joys, social gatherings, and the love of nature makes them one of the most endearing and real-feeling cultures in fiction. 7. The Jedi Order from Star Wars. The Jedi Order in Star Wars is a perfect example of a deeply structured and spiritual society. With its emphasis on peace, self-discipline, and mental control, the Jedi combine elements of various real-world philosophical and religious practices into a culture that feels grounded and profound. 8. The Wakandans from Black Panther. Wakanda, from Black Panther, is a technologically advanced yet deeply traditional society, combining futuristic innovations with ancient rituals. Their reverence for their ancestors, their monarchy, and their use of vibranium reflects a sophisticated culture rooted in history, spirituality, and an unwavering sense of national pride. 9. The Societists from The Expanse. In The Expanse, the Belter Society, or Societists, is a fascinating culture shaped by life in space. Their harsh living conditions on space stations and asteroids have led to the development of a unique dialect, social structure, and sense of identity that makes them stand out as a realistic space-faring culture. 10. The Tolkien-esque dwarves from The Hobbit. The dwarves in J.R.R. Tolkien's works, especially in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, represent a fiercely independent and industrious culture with a strong sense of craftsmanship and pride. Their values, traditions, and deep connection to the earth, and its treasures, give them a richly layered and authentic feel. These fictional cultures feel so well crafted and intricately woven into their respective worlds that they resonate deeply with audiences, leaving a lasting impression of their authenticity.